Hi everyone, Edna, Kimble, and the Cells. Thanks for joining today's episode where Brittany Boyd is joining us again. Thanks for being here, Brittany.
No problem.
I mean, she's always here, but
I live here.
Yeah, she lives here. So today we had kind of touched base on this last week, lucky girl syndrome.
Right, we did get into the mindset last week.
Yeah, we talked a lot of mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what does it have to do with real estate?
Everything to do with real estate. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us your thoughts on that.
Well, it's just constantly changing and constantly unexpected. And if you're not, grounded in the vision where you're headed, then it's too much. Like all the little obstacles on the way.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that because we all kind of lean into the lucky girl syndrome, even though Braden obviously is not a girl. It's more just the positivity or the attitude of moving forward.
Yeah. It's just focusing on the positive instead of focusing on the negative.
Right. Solution based is what I like to. So basically we have a transaction that's blowing up, and it's literally like one of those Tom Cruise movies where he's walking down and things are blowing up behind him.
Oh, Mission Impossible.
I mean, it could be Mission, just a Tom Cruise movie.
Tom Cruise.
Things are always blowing up in Tom Cruise movies. And sometimes that's how our transactions are, right? But you have to continue to just keep moving forward and figuring out how to repair the explosion that just happened.
I do think that dwelling on the negative is one of our biggest pet peeves. We're just like, okay, that happened. What are we doing to fix it? And what are we doing so it doesn't happen again? And just moving forward.
Yeah, and I think you see a lot of that more so because she's almost like the shield. You're the shield, actually. Yeah. So what happens sometimes is when a transaction is getting wonky or sideways, people will literally spend a week trying to figure out who messed up.
Yeah, whose fault it was. And it just truly doesn't matter most of the time. Like, it needs to be fixed no matter whose fault it was.
Exactly.
Like, let's keep it rolling.
Yeah. And so really kind of our philosophy is, okay, there was a mistake made. Let's fix the mistake and get everything back on track. And then what we will do is we will then look at it and say, okay, in the future, is there anything we could have done or that we can do on the next one to make sure that doesn't happen? And that's where we end up with new SOPs or guidelines. Yeah, systems, absolutely. So our systems are forever changing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Living documents, all of them. Yeah.
Living
documents. That's when they're live and editable along the way.
I've never heard you say that before.
They're out there living.
Did you just recently learn that in Chicago, maybe?
No, that's a thing. It's a real thing.
No, it absolutely is. I've just never heard you refer to it like that. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Living documents. I like it though.
Just learned it. Yeah.
Just learned it. No, I just learned it. So obviously you've been doing it. So the whole lucky, we don't really just use that for real estate transactions. It's kind of our entire philosophy.
Right.
That we're lucky, and when something happens, it's not happening to us, it's happening for us, right? Yeah. So what do you think are some of the highlights of that? Have you had anything in your life that is more of, this happened because I'm so lucky?
Yeah, all the time. Like, even I love the lucky girl syndrome. I mean, and I'm glad that it's like trending and everything, but like once you get past just like the TikTok hashtag lucky girl, like it really is a mindset when you believe that the whole universe is helping you.
Working.
Is like in your favor, like what you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're learning what you're supposed to be learning. And even if it's not the best day ever, I can look and be like, oh, I'm learning this and this, and I'm growing, and which is also a gift. Like if you can also take the negativity and look at that as a gift, that it's also teaching you and molding you for something in the future, then I think that's the next step of lucky girl syndrome.
Yeah. And Brittany doesn't do listings, but you do all of the paperwork to get the transaction going or whatever. And for me, on the lucky syndrome or the lucky girl, I hate to say girl because it's so limiting, but the lucky person syndrome, it's shocking to me how many times I list a house And the seller says to me, I explain now, here's what we're going to do, but I'm a realist, so this is what could go wrong, and here's what we would do about it. And I'm really surprised. What do you think the percentage is of sellers that when I say, and here's what could go wrong, what percentage of sellers do you think say, yeah, that'll probably happen because everything that could go wrong goes wrong with me?
Yeah, I mean, most people have a negative mindset, and it is. I mean, you just have all you can do is shield your side, and then just keep spinning it because our brains are wired to spin it in a more positive way. So, I mean, we're blowing their minds, but yeah, I don't know. It's a good half of them are just waiting for the hammer to drop.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I would say about half of the people, when I call them because there's a hiccup or a problem, their first response is, I'm not surprised, this kind of thing always happens to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, my heart goes out to people like that, because it's kind of like, oh, they're always expecting something bad.
Yeah. And then if you focus, I mean, if that's what you're looking for, that's what you're going to find.
Yeah. So Mel Robbins, one of the people that we love, she always says it's kind of like sunglasses, which makes me think of rose-colored sunglasses. Are you too young to know that reference?
No, I know the reference.
Okay, yeah. And I do think it's like, do you look at everything through the rose-colored glasses, which means everything is soft and sunny and lovely, or is everything just negative all the time? And so that's the way I kind of look at how they're seeing it. But I think there's a lot of things in real estate. There's some old, I don't know, like fables. I don't think fable is the right word, but remember the one like where you bury the statue upside down in your yard?
Yeah. The St. Joseph.
St. Joseph. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're from the north. No, you're from the south.
No.
How did you know that?
Somebody gave you one.
Yes.
Wait,
Over the years, we've had numerous given to us. And when they call and say, is it okay if I do this? I say, absolutely, because if you believe it, and honestly, everyone who's ever done it, the house sold.
What do you know?
Right? But I feel like that goes back to the lucky person syndrome. You're looking for the luck. You're looking for the positivity.
Yeah, and then they get an offer and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky I got an offer. As opposed to some people that are like, well, this offer is what? Like it's all about the mindset.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So love that. And then so part of the lucky syndrome, I am probably the world's luckiest traveler.
Yeah, you've got that crown, definitely. You just have everything just falls into place perfectly wherever you go.
And I start saying that from the moment I book the trip.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And believe me, I've had some crazy things happen, but at the end of the day, it was lucky. I was lucky the plane didn't go down, even though there was a 2-hour delay and we were stuck in the plane. We were lucky to get a wallet back when our backpack was stolen.
Mm-hmm.
We were lucky to get the passport back when a wallet was stolen. But in the end, instead of being like, can you believe that bad thing happened? We were so lucky that these good things happened. Right? So, yeah. What do you think that your lucky personality brings to you?
Just whatever I want.
Okay, just anything.
What does my lucky personality bring to
Stuff
me?
a lot.
Yeah. I just
She wins raffles.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
You do.
Yeah, just all that. Just my whole life. I feel like my whole being is protected. I feel like my kids are out in the world and I can trust that they're going to be taken care of even if I'm not there. And it's just positivity in general.
Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah. No, I mean,
I don't have
think
the
it's
lucky
okay.
girl syndrome. I'm just living in that direction, and as long as you know where you're headed, then everything will file into line.
Yeah. I think part of mine with the lucky person syndrome is also at the end of the day, is that really something to be crushed about or upset about? Does that make sense?
Right.
Like if something didn't go exactly the way I'd wanted it, then I try to reshape it and go, okay, because we say this to each other all the time. Hang on just a second. I understand you're so stressed because you've got 5 deals closing tomorrow. Let me go check with all the other realtors in the building and see if they feel bad for you. I mean, is it really a problem.
It's perspective. It's perspective. And you can either be one of those people, it's my biggest pet peeve, that will just make a list of everything that went wrong. Like, oh my gosh, my alarm didn't go off, and then I ran out of eyeliner, and then I had a flat tire, and then my coffee was due room temperature. I don't know.
and
and
Edna
then,
knocked it over.
Yeah. And then Edna knocked it all over.
Just about 20 minutes ago, I spilled all the coffee.
But like you can make everything sound awful if you put it in a list like that. So I just like you gather it up, you hoard it, and you want to make yourself sound pitiful, and you can. If you want to make a bad list, you can make a bad list, or you can say, "Gosh, am I so lucky that my husband changed my tire, and I have so many people that can help me, and I'm having an adventurous morning instead of a boring morning." Like it's just you just train you're rewiring your neural pathways to see positive in the world and not negative. People are made to see the negative, just through evolution and whatnot, just so we can survive. But so a more evolved person is beyond the lizard brain. You can evolve a step up, and then you can rewire your neural pathways to see positivity because you're not in the jungle in danger, and we can do that.
Thank God. But real estate is not easy.
Yeah.
Right. So we want to be clear. We don't think that real estate is easy and that you need to go, we're so lucky. I mean, we don't necessarily approach it that way.
What's your favorite quote? What's your favorite luck quote? Do it. It's Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, yeah. My favorite luck quote is the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Yeah.
Right. And I say it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So because people perceive me to be really lucky in real estate. And I'm like, yeah, I am. But I work hard. And it's like the harder I work, the luckier I get,
mm-hmm.
and it all comes to fruition. You can't just sit there and things are going to drop into your lap, you know.
That we do, like that's a big thing. Like I do believe in just action. Like you are not going to get anything from the universe or anything if you're not doing anything. Like if you're making actions and making an effort, then you'll get where you want to be.
And do you think gratitude plays into that?
Yeah, gratitude. I mean, because that is the perspective of like no matter what you don't have yet, you need to focus on what you do have, and then I believe that you get more when you tell the universe how happy you are with that. Then they're like, oh, cool, and they give you more.
Yeah. So we had a video shoot last week. How did that go from your truth their perspective? What all went wrong?
Well, it was definitely a rocky day where just about everything that could derail. We had everyone cancel on us.
The boat canceled.
The marina canceled. The whole vision.
The lake canceled. The lake was not cooperative.
The weather was awful and windy and
air
choppy.
Went out of the board.
Yeah. Paddle boards were losing air. We have a team member flipping into the lake. He fell.
But at the end of the day, I mean,
our biggest takeaway at the end of the day was perseverance. Like we at the end of the day, we were just like, hey, team.
There wasn't a team member that didn't reach out to me individually. I know that you two are working behind the scenes to mm-hmm. come up with, solutions. But every single team member had sent me a text saying, what if mm-hmm. how about if do you want me to? Do you know what I mean? So like, how do you get mad about that? And then while the two of you are brainstorming and figuring out a way to overcome, the shortage of content that we needed to fill, just knowing that all of these people, and then, my husband is like, what can I hire a boat? Can I, whatever, so it's really hard, to wallow in that.
It showed us how many people would jump in to help us.
Wanted that to go well for us that day. Mm-hmm. And it was just, it really became comical, I think, more than anything.
That we were scheduling as we went.
Yeah, I would say that if there was not
scripting as we went,
money involved, we probably would have been laughing our butts off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it was a very expensive video situation. And so it was a little hard to laugh through the pain of that. But I personally never learn unless there's a pain in there. and my pain is always money related, right?
Yeah.
So I can do pretty much anything until somebody starts saying it's going to cost you, and then I'm like, oh, that's painful. So I learned a ton. I learned a lot.
We learned a ton.
Yeah, yeah. So, but at the end of the day, it was a positive experience rather than honestly, absolutely everything that could go wrong went wrong.
We could have had a very negative mindset at the end of the day, but we didn't. No.
I will admit though, there was some times there.
Okay, and that's the thing with the lucky girl syndrome is like we're not allowed to say that times are bad or we got sad
Right,
or
we
we got
didn't-
disappointed, but
yeah.
we can, like, we are all human and we do have feelings. It's like it's just not wallowing in it. It's
Yeah,
just you
yeah.
have to and then move forward.
Yeah, yeah.
And the next one next month.
Yeah, but I like, so who do you bounce that off of? Do you know what I mean? Because I think sometimes for me, I can't come into the team and just wallow in it. Does that make sense? Because I feel like it would bring the team down. So unfortunately, my husband has to hear every single, and then my hair went like this and my lashes went like that and my jacket collar was, whatever. So do you do that behind the scenes with another team member? You and Jill do it together?
Yeah, maybe Jill. Jill's a good work.
Yeah, because I don't think it's being naive enough to not be able to express it, because you do got to get that out, right? Or I do. Maybe it's just me. Who do you?
Brittany and I.
Okay, so yeah. Oh, you pout together. Oh,
No,
we
we
pout.
We
Oh, you
pout.
pout. I thought you said we pout.
We don't.
Woo, that was a day.
I love a good pout. I love a good pout. Well, I do believe that when it comes to real estate, the lucky syndrome still plays in, because it's when in any scenario, it could always be worse. You know what I mean? So be thankful and look at, okay, I'm so lucky that it was only the ridge roof line, not the entire roof that needed to be replaced. And I've taken that to people, and unfortunately about 50% of the time it's perceived as the worst thing that could possibly happen. And then the other 50% of the time, which I get it, because when it's tied to money, that is a little bit harder to swallow. But yeah, I thought that was an unusual situation when you start looking at it from the client's perspective of, is this a lucky situation or not? But I've had so many people not be able to buy the home that they wanted. And you know this, like they are devastated that their bid did not get accepted. Now maybe they don't even want to sell their house. But what always happens? She's like, I have no idea.
They get a better house.
They get
a better deal, a better house, a better everything.
Yes. And
we tell them it wasn't meant to be.
And because they literally did everything they could, and then they missed out. And every single time they say to me later, I thought that was my dream home, but I'm so glad it didn't work out, because this was meant to be. I've even had people, no matter what we did, we couldn't sell their home. Offers came in and then things fell apart. And then, 2 or 3 months down the road, they come to me and they say, hey, I'm so glad the house didn't sell because, and there's some major behind the scenes situation that would have been really kind of devastating to them if their home would have sold. Mm-hmm. So, at the time I don't feel lucky because I didn't get paid, but ultimately it was what was right for the client. So, yeah. So leaning into that.
Leaning into it.
Easier said than done sometimes.
You're lucky to learn even if you don't get what you want in the moment. Like, you got what you're supposed to. Get what you need.
Get what you, there's a song in there somewhere in there.
We don't have to pay for the rights, right?
Oh, okay. We better. Okay. So also our controversial question for the day, because we are in people's homes all day, every day. Should everyone make their bed every day?
Yeah, they should.
Whether their house is for sale or not?
Yeah. I don't know. I make my bed every day.
Have you always made your bed every day?
It's been a long time. I mean, no, not always. Like, obviously, I was young once, but for a long time, I can't imagine not making the bed first thing. It's to show yourself you accomplished something in the day.
Okay. Jill?
Yes, I'm a bed maker.
You're a
too.
bed maker. Okay. Wait, have you always made your bed every day?
I wouldn't say make it look super pretty, but I always like pull the covers up,
Okay.
you know.
So you always do the minimum. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, now I want it to look pretty. But
Oh,
when I
okay,
was
right. When you
younger,
were younger,
it was more
just
just like
do
a,
it to get it
come on,
over with.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that if you have your home for sale, making your bed is a good way to make you feel like you're a little bit in control. But I will say it goes back to the lucky syndrome. I have so many clients who say to me, I call them or text them, I'm a texter, and say, hey, we'd like to show the house today at 4. And they say, I always make my bed, but today I did not.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
And so then it becomes kind of a joke of like, okay, the house is not selling. Don't make your bed, so maybe we can get a showing.
I get it.
So that's the flip side of the coin. So let us know, do you think that it's luckier to make your bed every day or not to make your bed to try to get a showing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of magic can we put out there?
Controversial question of the day. Love it. Okay, well, as always, this is a real estate, show, and I think our takeaway on this is that make sure you're working with someone who really approaches your home understanding that it is really important to you, but that they have a positive outlook on the market, on what's happening, absolutely realistic, but also positive, and go into it understanding that there's going to be hiccups. Right? Yeah. I used to say road bumps, speed bumps, and that confused people. So now I try to say road bumps, speed bumps. Wait, road bumps? That doesn't make sense to you?
Road bumps.
Maybe that's why they were confused, as it doesn't make sense to
Rocky
you.
roads.
Rocky. No, I just
Ice
think
cream?
of ice cream when people say rocky,
Mm.
rocky roads. I used to say, I still say it every now and then, but very rarely. Sometimes I'll say, hey, can I call you back? There's a fire, or I'm in the middle of putting out a fire. And I'm shocked at how many people thought I literally meant there was a fire.
Shh.
Yeah.
Firefighter Edna.
No. I've had so many people think that I literally, they follow up and go, hey, was everything okay? And I'm like, oh no, it wasn't an actual literal fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Just a bump.
Yeah. So, lucky girl syndrome, lucky seller, lucky buyer syndrome, just lucky people syndrome. I don't like the lucky girl because
it feels like girl boss and all of
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think I'm a little beyond the girl aspect
Lucky.
of that.
Yeah.
So just lucky, positivity, gratitude. It does all pan out. Yeah. Okay. Anything else to add, Brittany?
Mic drop. No.
Mic drop. I don't know if it was a mic drop, but okay. Okay, so let us know, do you always make your bed? If your home is for sale, should you always make your bed? I'd be curious to see where that lines out. Okay, everyone, as always, please like, follow, and share if there's someone you would like to see on the next episode, or there's a controversial topic that you would like for us to discuss. Let us know. Thanks for watching, everyone.